How do you write a detailed medical report of an execution method 400 years before that execution method was even invented? Today, we're looking at the cross-reference that keeps historians up at night. This is King David. Around 1,000 years before Jesus was born, David wrote a poem known as Psalm 22. At the time, if you were a criminal in Israel and you were sentenced to death, there was one standard way to go: stoning. Now, look at this. Crucifixion, the act of nailing someone to a wooden cross, wasn't perfected as a form of execution until the Romans, nearly 900 years after David died. David had never seen a crucifixion. He didn't even have a word for it. And yet, look at what he wrote. Let's follow the connections between Old and New Testament. David writes in Psalm 22:1, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Fast forward 1,000 years to Matthew 27-46. Those are the exact final words of Jesus. David writes in verse 18, "They divide my clothes among them and cast lots for my garment." In John 19:23, the Roman soldiers do exactly that because they didn't want to tear his seamless robe. And again, in Psalms 22 verse 16, David writes, "They have pierced my hands and my feet." Remember, in David's time, piercing wasn't part of the death penalty. It was stoning. You don't pierce hands during a stoning. This is a specific, graphic detail of a Roman cross, written a millennium before the Romans arrived. Here is the incredible moment. Critics used to argue that maybe the New Testament writers just faked the story to match the psalm. But then, we found the Dead Sea Scrolls. These scrolls contain copies of Psalm 22 that date back way before the time of Jesus. This proves the text wasn't altered. The spoiler was sitting there in plain sight for centuries, waiting for history to catch up to the prophecy. This is why cross-references matter. They aren't just footnotes, they are the coordinates that prove the Bible isn't just a book of stories. It's an integrated message from someone who can see the end from the beginning. David wrote the lyrics, but Jesus lived the song.